Hey everyone, with our cooking blender on sale this month, I wanted to pull it out and make a couple of things with it. If you remember, I've shown it before. It's got about 8 settings on it. It is a cooking blender, so it gets beyond, it goes higher than the heat of other blenders to actually cook. So I'm going to make a butternut squash soup for dinner. Should be ready in like 20 or 30 minutes with all raw vegetables. Just gonna put everything in here, turn the blender on, and be good to go. So the first thing I'm gonna put in is, I have my recipe over here, some vegetable broth, and it's my easy read measuring cup. These come in a set. I love these. I only got them recently, but what I love the most about them is that I don't have to do this to see the measurements because they're all on the inside here, and it's made in such a way that it's easy to read. So I'm going to pour in 2.5 cups, and I can read it right from where I'm standing. So that's 1, 2, 2.5. So that's 2.5 cups of broth, and that's going to go right into the blender. And then I'm going to add, I pre-measured everything else just to save some time here, except for the pumpkin, that has to go in also. So I'm going to be putting in some fresh carrots, some onion, and some garlic, just chunked up, nothing crazy. I just cut everything up real quick with a knife. So those go in. I'm going to be putting a couple of cups of squash in here. Canned pumpkin, it calls for half a can, and if you remember our can opener, it cuts with no sharp edges, so you just kind of put it along the side there, it grabs on, you can feel it's got it, so you keep turning until you feel a little less resistance, at which time you will, there we go, you go, you go backwards to release it. And then it's got these little pinchers here. So you just push the button here and the top comes right off, and there's no sharp edge. It cuts below the metal. So I'm gonna put about half of this in. It said 7.5 ounces, so that should be half a can. And my seasonings I pre-measured. It's, what is it? It's brown sugar, salt, pepper, cinnamon, nutmeg. You can add cayenne, but I didn't really feel like it. So put that all in, and it'll take care of it, but I'm just gonna sort of incorporate it there. And that's pretty much it. So it does call for a little bit of either coconut milk, I think it says coconut milk, or heavy cream. And I don't have either, but I have still some non-dairy heavy cream that I had in the fridge. So I had all this stuff at home. I had a squash that I was looking to use. So, and I had everything else at home. So I'm just going to use that non-dairy stuff. I'm going to put it on the soup setting. And then when it's done, it says to add a little bit of that heavy cream or whatever you have, and just pulse it briefly. And then that's it. I think you can add some pumpkin seeds for topping. And yeah, so I'm going to plug it in. And I'm going to lock the lid. I'm going to turn it on, there's a little button here, and I'm just going to run through the settings until I get to the one I want, which in this case is soup. So that's one of the heated settings. We have soup, heated puree, sauce, and jam. And the sauce setting, or the jam, I can't remember, is the one that I made the lemon curd on, and I've also made caramel sauce. Those are heated, and the beauty of that is that if you're making jam or a hot sauce, you kind of have to keep going back to the stove and stirring it, especially if it's caramel, something with a lot of sugar in it. But this you don't have to. You just turn it on for the allotted amount of time. It's predetermined, and it just does it all by itself. You don't have to stir. You don't have to worry about burning. You don't have a pot to clean afterwards, because don't forget, this cooking blender also cleans and sanitizes itself. So this is the only thing I'm dirtying, except for maybe this and a measuring cup, but I would have done that anyway. So anyway, so that's it. So I'm gonna turn it on, I'm gonna make soup, and I will post pictures below. Okay, take care.